Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Caprine Cottage. My name is Anne, and I'm back today in my studio space with a video for you. I know it's been a few weeks. It's summer. It's been so hot here. Last week, that crazy heat wave hit us. It was in the 90s pretty much all week. And yeah, there's no way I could film while having that go on. I can't have a fan or the air conditioning on while I'm filming because it makes a sound, and I can kind of edit it out, but it never really goes away and it bothers me. And then also my camera will overheat in those temperatures. It's just too hot. So we skipped a week. I hope you all had a great little summer vacation. Maybe you had a little like 4th of July barbecue or something to go to. We were working that day, so we didn't do anything like that. But yeah, I hope you had a nice little 2-week break. And this week I will have hopefully 2 things for you. So there will be this video that you'll be seeing on Friday. And then our next Forest Keys Knit Along live stream will be on Sunday, the 12th. I really hope that's correct. I think that's the right date. It'll be here if I'm wrong, or I'll just put it here anyway. But that's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I think we're in daylight time now, so it's Eastern Daylight Time. Also, please forgive. Well, usually I can edit out background sounds, but if you're hearing anything, there's a variety of ambient noise right now. Feeny is obviously doing her thing. And then our neighbors, I don't know if you remember last summer, they were having their house resided and they only did half of it last summer. So the contractor is back doing the other half. And so from time to time, I can hear him hammering. Sometimes he turns on the lift he has and it's diesel powered, so it makes that diesel sound. So hopefully you don't hear it. If you do, I'm sorry. I'll give a little Feeny update because I'm sure you guys want to hear how she's doing. So it's been now at least 3 weeks since she started limping. The vet came and everything. I think I told everybody that, but she's still limping. I talked to the vet after 2 weeks and she told me that it's just a time thing. It's like if we sprain something, it just can take like 6 to 8 weeks, which I know firsthand it takes forever. But she's still on her like anti-inflammatory pain meds. See, he just started the lift. I hope you can't hear that. But she's still on her meds. We're resting as much as possible, which means I have not been going on my walks, which feels really ironic when I started this knit along all about enjoying outside and the forest, and I haven't even really gotten out at all this year, which is a huge change of pace for me. I am usually outside walking with her every day. Yeah, so we'll talk more about it later in the video, but there's more about that. So yeah, this week's video, it's not a podcast episode, but kind of. So it is now June 7th. Is it? It's June 8th. It's the 8th now. It's like yesterday didn't happen. This week has already been crazy. We found a bat in our house on Sunday morning. So Monday was spent dealing with the health department, taking it in for testing. Luckily, it did not have rabies, so everything's fine. But it just, stuff happens. It's summer. All the little critters are doing their thing, trying to come into my house. I don't know why. But yeah, so that was another thing that happened. It's been a lot of that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's July 8th, and that means that there's essentially 2 more months of summer left. Because for me, fall starts September 1st. Really starts July 5th. But this summer, I'm trying to encourage myself to enjoy the summertime. I am not the biggest summer fan, and I've mentioned in passing before, it's not something I really want to talk about on here, but a couple years ago, my health kind of changed, and I am now very sensitive to the heat in a way. I've always kind of been sensitive to the heat, but it's gotten a lot more severe where I just don't tolerate it very well. So summer has become less and less fun for me, but there's 2 more months left of it, and I want to make the best of it. This week's video is going to be a summer bucket list, summer plans, spooky summer, make the most of summer because I can't spend the next 2 months just wishing it was fall. I've already been doing that since I feel like April, and I have to try and live in the present. I'm not the best at it, but I also feel as long as I incorporate some like fun, spooky fantasy things into my summer, maybe I'll be more into it. So I have 3 categories. I have knitting. So I have things I'm working on. I'll like update you on my projects. You've seen all of them already. And the next category is books. I will talk about the books I have. I'm going to talk about books that kind of fit a theme. Some I have read, some I have not. And then activities. Things that are like my summer bucket list, things I say I'm going to do every single summer and I never get around to. And so I want to make them happen this year. So yeah, that's the plan. I hope you're interested. I hope you stick around. And I think we'll just start. And we're going to start with knitting. I'll put that up front in case some of you don't want to hear the other things. The knitting will come first. So right now I have 3 projects that I am mainly focused on, and they're all summery, I guess, which is also not something I normally do very much. I'm not the biggest summer knitter, but I'm trying to be this year. And so the first is my second pair of rucksack socks. That is so hard to say every time. But they're from Lindsey Fowler's book, Trails and Valleys, which again, I'll talk about a little bit in the book section too. But here they are, or here it is. I haven't finished one, but I'm only working on one. And I have done the heel, and I'm working on the gusset decreases now. So it's growing. This I'm pretty much only working on when I'm out and about, so it's not getting a ton of action. But I've told you all about these before. I'm making them in Rambler, and then the heel and toe will be held double with Lang reinforcement thread. But these feel so summery to me. They feel very like somehow 60s, 90s with the teal and orange color combo, which I feel like is reading pink for you guys, but I'm not mad about it. So that's my first knitting project. Like I said, I'm going to go through these kind of quickly because I will do a podcast episode probably in 2 weeks, so you'll see them again. But I thought I'd just show you because I've made some progress on them, and maybe it's inspiring you for some summer themed projects. And then my next thing is the outline tee by M.A.B.L.E, and I actually haven't worked on knitting in a while. I had another project I was working on. I'll talk about it in my podcast. But I have made some pretty good progress on this since you guys last saw it, at least. How do I describe this? This is, okay, let's see. I'll show you the front, hopefully. It's kind of chaotic, but this is the front. So it'll have the V here, and then this will be probably like that. So it's coming along. Yeah, this is the back. That makes a lot more sense. That is, looks more of the appropriate shape. But I'm making this with yarn from Mitchell Wool Company, and it's so soft. I can't wait to wear this. So I'm really going to work hard this week to work on these projects. The sock, that's like more casual, but these two, the Forest Keys and the outline tee, I really want to get them finished definitely by the end of July, but preferably in 2 weeks. Well, at least the outline tee in 2 weeks, and then Forest Keys. We'll see how long it takes me. I'm not rushing that one because the knit along goes for another month after that. But I want to be able to wear that like in the evenings and stuff. So I'm super excited about that. And then, yeah, last project I'm working on is Forest Keys. I'm making this in Scottish Yarn Festival 4-ply. If you're looking for colors and everything, that's on my Ravelry. So I've made some pretty good progress on this. This project intimidates me, but I think that's really good because this was one of the first Tetty's Knit Garden patterns I saw, and I wanted to make it, but I just felt like it was kind of out of my skill level, and that was a few years ago, and now I feel more confident to take it on. But this is the back, and then I did the one front shoulder. You can kind of see that. I guess it would be more like this. And then I just picked up. I ended up taking out my whole provisional cast on. Like she said to pick it out, but I just took the whole thing out and put it on like a cord for my needles, and then have picked up the appropriate stitches. I felt like it was too annoying to leave the provisional crochet in there, and this was just easier. I could do it in one go. But so the right shoulder is next. I have admittedly been putting this off because I have to do the color work back and forth, but it goes really fast. If anyone else is making this, I'm sure you also know that it's not that many rows. Like this motif is quite short. It's only this, like from that line down or up. So it's not that bad, but I definitely need to be not distracted when I'm doing it. So like I can't have Caleb talking to me or Finny trying to do so, like jump on things. Like I need to be, it's even a little hard for me to do it while watching TV. Like I kind of have to just zone in and get it done. But then there's a lot of plain stockinette as well. And of course, the Scottish Yarn Festival yarn, one of my favorite yarns of all time. It is so, so soft. And now, oh, this is a perfect opportunity. It's now going to be called the Scottish Wool Company. I've been waiting for Eva to announce this, and she just did. She has a new Instagram for the Scottish Wool Company so that they can be separate, the festival and the yarn. So if you're not following her on her new account, I highly recommend that you go over there. She's trying to get, you know, it's hard. It's really hard when you have an established social media and then you start a new account for like part of your business. It's hard to get the numbers up for there. And of course, we all know if you're on social media at all, there are certain perks that you can't access until you reach a certain follower count, both on YouTube and on Instagram. So yeah, if you're not following her there at the new account, I'll put the tag here so you can find it easily. Yeah, go give her a follow. She has also released 2 new colors of, I think it's both the 4-ply and the DK. So check them out. They're beautiful. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, obviously, Woolly Thistle stock levels right now, but I'm pretty sure they have those colors. Maybe they're waiting for a restock. I don't know. I haven't looked recently because I'm not supposed to be buying yarn, but I did. I'll talk about that in another podcast, like in a true podcast episode in a few weeks. But those are my 3 projects that I'm actively working on. And now I've put together kind of a list of my dream summer knits. These are the projects that I wish that I could knit, or I wish I had time to knit. The truth is, I probably will not make any of these this summer. I think those are going to take up my time, and then by the time I'm done with them, I'm going to want to start my autumn projects. And so hopefully that will provide some summer knitting inspiration for you. I will put up pictures over here, but I'll tell you them as we go. And I've written them down. So the first thing I'm going to recommend, which I have recommended before, but I feel like this is the perfect book for summer knitting, is Trails and Valleys by Lindsey Fowler. And I've said this before, I know Lina books can be a little bit pricey, but generally, first of all, the quality is exceptional. I really think they're worth the money. But if you're choosing like to buy one, I think this is one of the most versatile ones that I own that they've published, because it has something for everybody. And it has a huge range of sizes in most of the projects and a really good variety of projects. And I think because it is like for adventures, like going outside, they're great summer projects. So I'll just highlight a couple. Hopefully I can go fast. As usual, I should have totally flagged in the book, but I didn't. The rucksack socks I'm making are from this book, which I love them. There is this other pair of socks. They're called the Happy Camper socks. Those look really cute. They're super cozy looking. They might be a DK sock. Let's look. No, they are still regular sock weight socks, but they are like a waffle knit. So I think they'd be super cozy for summer going into fall. Then that I just want to make, but it's not summer really related. There's a beanie in there. A beanie there and mitts that I really like. This I think is like the ultimate summer camp vibes project. It is the Cabin Games hat. And it is a full square hat. Let's see if I can find another picture to show you without, no, it'll show the pattern, but it's a full square hat and you can play checkers on it, but you can wear it as a shawl. And I just think that is so cute. If someone made me that when I was a kid and going to summer camp, maybe I would have been cooler at summer camp. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I would have been even less cool. But I think it's super cute. And I don't really go on vacations because we have a farm, but I feel like it'd be so fun to have that if you had kids and you were like renting a cabin or something. You could play checkers like on the porch. I don't know. It's just fantasy, I think, for me, but I like the idea of it. There is this colorwork pair of socks called the Dockside socks. Those are also very cute, very summery. I mean, this would be great. This is the Camp Larkspur Kerchie, which I think is cute. But there's one other one. Let's see if I can find it. Now I'm taking too long on this. Oh well. And this is the final one. It is the Daybreak pullover. That's definitely more like for colder weather, but I feel like it's such a cute alternative to a fleece for backpacking or camping or that sort of thing. Yeah, I just think it's really cute. I'll make sure to, maybe I'll add a picture of it because I feel like I can't show you the best photos in the book. But yeah, Trails and Valleys, highly recommend this book. I definitely am going to make some more stuff out of this sometime. I don't know when. Then here's just, I'm going to list off patterns that are in my favorites that I would love to make. The first is the Shelly Candana by Shelly Can. I love that bandana pattern. It is, I'm pretty sure, a full square bandana. And I just think it's so cute and I know I would wear it all the time. So that's something I definitely want to make. I have tons of, I'm pretty sure it's a fingering weight project, and I have tons of sock yarn that I think would be perfect for that. I'm looking at my sock yarn bin, but it's hard to choose a color because I want it to be versatile. But that's one thing. I think that's like, it just gives such summer camp vibes. Then on that same, I don't know, same thing, same path is the Fancy Camp bandana by Heather Nolan. She's also Only Knock Knits. Have I said that right? But it's just a cute little lace bandana. But that one is like, it's a little triangle scarf. Then the last one that I really want to make this, I have the yarn for it, but I just don't think that I'm going to have time this summer. So it will be postponed again. But that is the Shona top by Irene Lynn. It is so cute and lacy. I just think it would be a great addition to my wardrobe, and it's super summery, and I have a cotton linen yarn that I want to use to make it. Those are all of my, there's not that many, but my knitting, sort of dream knitting ideas for my summer of fun. Next, we'll talk about books. You can see I have a whole stack of books here. So I've already read 2 of these, which means, oops, there's only 4 left. Obviously I have so many other books, but these are all kind of the theme I want to be reading this summer. So my summer reading theme has definitely been nostalgic, creepy, spooky time, if that makes any sense. I think you'll sort of get it. They're all kind of vintage scary. I think that's the best way, or like they have touches of that. So I'll start with the 2 I finished. The first one being The Children by Melissa Albert. This just came out. I got it from Book of the Month. I wish they would sponsor me, in case you're watching. But this book was incredible. Generally, in my opinion, the Book of the Month books are never a miss. Like, I'm not a fan really of subscription services, period. I find that everything is a subscription now. I hate that. I hate that you can't just like buy things outright. But that's kind of the beauty of this subscription, is you do get a physical thing. I think it is so worth the money. Like, I love this service because it's only, I think it's $17.99 a month, and you get a hardcover book every month. And I don't think I've read a single one that I disliked. Obviously, you get to choose out of like 5 or 6 which ones, so that helps, but I haven't made like a full-on bad pick. I think there was one that I was kind of like, the Rachel Harrison one I got. What is it called? Play Nice. That book, it was fine. It was good. I just felt that it was marketed kind of weirdly. But this was great. This book is described as, I think, gothic fiction or gothic horror. And I sort of feel like that's it does have gothic vibes. It's definitely moody. There is an incredible house in this book. I don't know if you're like me, but I love houses, period. I love haunted houses. It was just a dream of mine as a kid to move somewhere new and move into like a giant, creepy old house. I think I still dream of that. And twice in my life, I have sort of lived that dream, though both of them didn't really live up to the spookiness that I was hoping for. Our house is a little spooky. I could talk more about that some other time if you guys want some spooky tales. I don't know if that's something my audience is interested in, but we could do like one video of all of my questionable experiences. I don't know what I've seen, but I can't explain it. So anyway, yeah, spooky vibes. It does have a lot to do with family dynamic. And yeah, so I don't know if that's... And the writing style is like, it is a little bit long. That's one thing I'll say. And it is, it goes like back and forth in times. So it can be, I don't know if that's something you don't like. It's not like a continuous story. So if that's not something you like, you might not like it. The second one, I've been dying to read some Grady Hendrix. I've heard good things about his books. Felt like the right time. So the one I did finish is My Best Friend's Exorcism. I can't say that. My Best Friend's Exorcism. And this, it did deliver. I really did enjoy it. I don't want to say that it wasn't scary enough because it was super scary and gross and creepy, but I sort of wanted more from it. I don't know what I wanted, but I wanted more. It does have like a crazy climactic part, and it is spooky. And this is so nostalgic. Like if you are looking for something Stranger Things adjacent or that gives that 80s nostalgia, satanic panic, creepiness, this really fits the bill for that. I will say that. And I do feel like it's pretty apparent. I actually don't know how old he is, but I would guess it's pretty apparent to me that he grew up in the 80s because there's a lot of 80s references in this. I'm obviously a little bit young for that. I'm more of a 90s kid. So some of that was a little wasted on me, but it did build the atmosphere. And it also, if you like were a teenage girl, had complicated teenage girl like interactions, this will bring up some of that for you. Then I have things that I want to read. This is my next 4, hopefully. I will probably finish them. Let's see. I usually read, at this point, I'm reading about a book a week, which, yay me. It's better than I've been in a long time. But I would say I'm reading like 3 a month. So maybe I will go into August with these. But what I'm reading right now is Slasher Summer. This just came out, and I am so lucky because the book box I go to, like the little free library, the local bookstore sometimes puts ARCs in there when it's like after its time. So yeah, this came out for sale on June 23rd, and I'm pretty sure I got it from the book box that week. It is like an uncorrected proof copy, but so far I'm not that far in, but I have not found any mistakes. I feel like usually they're pretty good. But yeah, it doesn't have like the final, I mean, this is the final cover, but like the spine and everything, it's not like the final design. But it was free from the book box. I love the book box. I'm always bringing things there and taking things away. And mine has like a lot of good stuff in it. And I love, yeah, it's like every couple months the bookstore brings the ARCs, and I love that day. So I got that one.
I did get another one, but I don't think I'm going to read it in this grouping of books. But so far, this is pretty good. I'm going into it a little bit blind. It's by E.L. Chen. I don't really know much about them, but it's pretty good so far. It's definitely, it feels like it's going to be kind of cliche horror movie vibes. One thing that I have noticed, I assume this is on purpose, all of the characters, like it's all of these young people, and they're all named after people from horror movies. Like there's Jason, I think there's a Freddy, there's Mikey, the main girl, or one of the main girls, her name is Carrie. So yeah, I assume that's an homage to slasher flicks. So yeah, I feel like this is a great new one. It's definitely giving spooky summer vibes. Next are these two. So I got this. I've been really wanting for a couple years now to get into Stephen King. I think it's sort of insane, being who I am and liking what I like, that I have never read a single one of his books. Like, that's insane to me. And I have a few. I have a copy of Christine. My mom's name is Christine, so I obviously want to read that. And I loved the movie. Like, as a kid, I loved that movie. I don't know why. And then I have, like, a book of 3 novels. But I just got this. This is Night Shift, and this is short stories. It's his first collection of short stories. And I feel like maybe that's a good introduction into the world of Stephen King. I also am, in general, pretty partial to short stories. I'm going to talk about Ray Bradbury in a minute. And then I also got, this is another Grady Hendrix. This is Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. We'll see how it is. I feel like it will have all of the vintage vibes. This is, Sweltering Summer of 1970. So, again, I hope it will be scary summer horror. Yeah, it's about girls at, like, a teen pregnancy. I don't even know what you want to call it. I want to say home, but essentially they were sent away because it's the 70s and they were pregnant. But yeah, so they're being kept secret there. But we'll see. Obviously, they're going to get involved in something scary. And I think it's, they get a book about witchcraft. We'll see where it goes from there. And then my final, definitely one of my favorite books of all time. I would say this makes it into top 5, maybe definitely top 10, is Something Wicked This Way Comes. And if you have not read a Ray Bradbury, what are you doing? One of my favorite authors of all time. I think occasionally he was very prolific. So occasionally I do find a book of his that I haven't heard of, but I'm pretty sure, in high school I read every book of his that I could acquire. So I've read pretty much all of them. And that's what I was going to say about short stories is, if you also like short stories, he's like the master of short stories. All of his are great. I'm trying to think what my favorites are. I mean, I love them all, but I would say October Country, that's the classic. Martian Chronicles is classic. But this, I haven't read this. I think I read it when I was in my 20s, like since in high school, but I haven't read it since then. And I just think it's time. Oh, Dandelion Wine, obviously, it's another one that feels summery to me. Doesn't have a spooky vibes. He's definitely more of a sci-fi writer, but the most beautiful prose, in my opinion, of almost anyone ever. Yeah, I don't know. I could talk about Ray Bradbury forever and ever. And yeah, I would say that his writing genuinely changed my life. So I just think it's time to reread this. I love it so much. I don't have, I've seen, the most popular cover or printing of it recently that I've seen is really cool. It looks like a big top tent. It's like red and white stripes, and then the words are in squiggle. It's beautiful. This is a mass market paperback, which I love mass market paperbacks, but I don't really like this cover. I mean, it's fine. I wish I could find a vintage cover. Most of my copies of his books are older mass market paperbacks. I found a whole stash of them at a yard sale God, I was going to say a few years ago, but it's probably been like 10 years. And yeah, so I love them. And I'm always buying them at my local book sale. Then my final thing, my final topic. Also, if you have any spooky summer books, you can kind of feel the theme, I think, that you think I would like. Feel free to comment them. I would love to hear your suggestions because this is kind of my reading all the time, I guess. Like, it's very much in the realm of things I would read anyway. So the last thing I have are a list of summer activities, my summer bucket list, if you will, things I really want to do before September 1st. Will I get to them all? Probably not. But I think if I put them out to you and put them in the universe, the vibrations go into the world, maybe I'll be more likely to do them. So I've made a list. The first one, which I still haven't done, I should have gone last week, but it was actually, I feel like, too hot for this. And it was for the week of 4th of July, so it was really busy around here. But I want to either go to the lake or to one of the waterfalls to go swimming. If you are unfamiliar with where I live, we're in the Finger Lakes region. There you go, lake is in the name, and there are, how many Finger Lakes? I mean, I assume there's, I always forget this, but 5 Finger Lakes, right? But there's more, right? Because there's little ones. Someone will in the comments know. I could look it up. But I live closest, well, yeah, I would say closest to Cayuga Lake. So when I talk about that, talk about going to the lake, that's what I mean. Seneca Lake is also beautiful. Skaneateles Lake is really beautiful. That's kind of a far drive. I went to Canandaigua for the first time 2 or 3 summers ago. I had never been that way. That's more west. But yeah, so either go to the lake, and then we also have a ton of waterfalls here at Lower Treeman State Park and Lower Buttermilk State Park. There are waterfalls that have swimming areas that, you know, like that a lifeguard is at. So I either want to do one of those things, maybe both, if I can get it together. The next one is to go to my county fair. When I had to drop the bat off for testing, I went to the town that's like our county hub, and I saw a banner and it said county fair August something. I have to look it up, but I want to go. I always want to go to the county fair. I have the most nostalgic memories of doing that with my dad as a kid, and I always ask Caleb if we can go, and then we miss it. So I'm going to make it my business to go. We also have a little, I'm not going to share the name because it says my town name in it, but there's a town gathering, I don't know how to describe it, every summer in my town. They call it the like town name picnic. So I want to go to that too. I've never been. Caleb's always like, oh, do you want to go? Because he grew up here and he thinks it's kind of lame. But I've never been to it and I just want to go. The next activity is to go to a drive-in movie. I have never been to a drive-in movie. I have been to the kind of place, like to the drive-in movie place, because where I used to go on vacation in Cape Cod with my family, there is Wellfleet, Massachusetts, and they have a drive-in. Do you call it a theater? What do you call it? A drive-in place there? But they have a huge flea market there. Best flea market. I don't know if it's still good, but as a kid, that was like one of my most favorite things to do. But I've never been to a movie there, and I know that there is, I looked it up, there's a drive-in theater in Elmira, New York. So if you're local, you could tell me if that's a good one or not. But I really, really want to go. And the next one is the Renaissance Festival. See, I feel like this is ambitious to do all of these things, but I can try. And I know that one of the Renaissance festivals close to us is more in September. So if I can't make it happen in the summer, I could go to that one. So that's one. I haven't been to a Renaissance festival in years and years, but that's something I love. I like, some of my sewing background since I was a teenager was in historical costuming. That was my favorite thing ever to make. So I love making costumes and outfits. Yeah, so Renaissance Festival, maybe. That feels ambitious. And then the last and final thing, which I think is the easiest and most attainable, is to have a barbecue and a campfire with some of my friends. I often forget to host at our house because we're usually so busy. But it's one of those things that I love doing and I wish I did more often. So yeah, that's what I want to do. We have a really janky barbecue grill, but we do have like a little fire pit. So I think that would be fun. I was telling my friend this weekend that I want to do that, and she's like, then we could have you guys over for a cookout. And I'm like, what is the difference between a barbecue and a cookout? And she said, oh, we don't have a grill, so it's not a barbecue, it's a cookout because we have to cook on the fire. And that made me laugh because I guess I just think of it kind of the same. But yeah, so those are some summer fun activities that I want to try and achieve so that I can feel less bummed out about the summer. Feeney's injury has really thrown me for a loop. It's hard for me to like leave her at home and be like, bye, I'm going for a walk. You can stay here and do nothing. And just see her sad little face when I leave her. But she really shouldn't be walking. I mean, she can walk, obviously, but she shouldn't be going on walks or hikes. Like, she shouldn't be going distances or putting strain on her limb. So it's just rest time for the little nugget. She has been, I have an outside pen for her. I've been putting her out there so she can at least have grass and get fresh air and stuff. But she doesn't really like it. She doesn't like to be left outside by herself. So yeah, thank you so much for sticking with me. If you've made it this far, please give me your summer suggestions, some summer patterns you like, or if there's a summer activity that you think I would like that I didn't think of that would help me to find a little bit more joy in the season. I would love to hear it. And yeah, if you have any other suggestions, books, anything, I'd love to hear from you. I'm sorry that it has been a couple of weeks. I feel like videos might be a little slow coming this summer, depending on temperature and just kind of inspiration levels. I've been really enjoying kind of just doing my own thing, working on little projects. I've been working on a paint by number. I'll show that hopefully in my next podcast. I think it's going to be in 2 weeks. I plan to have a vlog for you next week. I don't know if I'm going to make that happen. I started filming it, but then I haven't filmed in like a week, so I don't know what it's going to look like. And then please come if you are working on the Forest Keys vest. The live stream will be this Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So I would love to see you there, and we can, well, I will chat. Maybe you guys can share a little bit about your project and how finding your forest has gone. So yeah, I leave you with that. If you are looking for me elsewhere, I am on Ravelry, I'm on Goodreads, I am on Instagram, and all of those places will be linked below, along with any other links you're looking for, affiliate links, whatever. I'll make sure to link, like write down the names of the books in the description and patterns I mentioned. And is that it? I think that's all I have for you this week. Thank you again so much for being here, whether you are a new subscriber or you've been with me from the beginning. It's been a funny ride lately, but I am so grateful for your presence and that you like to hang out, and I love hearing from you guys. So I hope you're handling the heat well if you are in the Northern Hemisphere. If you're somewhere else, I'm sorry it's cold. And yeah, we'll talk really soon. Bye.